Good afternoon. How are you people? This lesson is continuation of learning theories which we are discussing. And today I am going to touch upon is social learning theories. These are based on social orientation approach, that is social learning. Now what was happening is, if you talk about behaviorism, cognitivism or constructivism, the learning has changed from acquisition, which was individual, to participative, which is social and collaborative. Metaphor for learning, as Father Nine said, the acquisition of learning, acquisition knowledge, is changing from an individual to social and collaborative. Therefore, focus on learning as a social activity, not an activity of an individual. Interaction with other people in specific context. Learning is located through co-participation rather than in individual's head. Stretching beyond what can we do on our own with the help of others, and we have all experienced, because sometimes when you're doing something alone, you can't do it, but if few people they meet and they do it in a combined way, it's done much better, and learning is also much better. Can be seen in observation when one is doing modeling and peer learning. Let me share examples of social learning theories. One is community of practice. A community of practice is defined as a set of relations among persons, activities and world over time and in relation with other tangential and overlapping communities of practice. Learners need a legitimate role in the community, contribute to the community's growth, active participation in the meaningful tasks that contribute to the patient care. For example, there is a community of, let us say, doctors. Now, if there is a community of doctors, then that community is working as a community in which everyone has a defined role. For example, house officer has a defined role, registrar has a defined role, junior consultant defined role, senior consultant defined role, and they're working along with each other. And once one is doing that, in fact, one is learning from each other. And as the time goes, one learns, becomes more capable, and that is how a registrar becomes an assistant professor, junior consultant, and so on and so forth. The zone of proximal development, in an excellent theory, says the distance between the actual development level as determined by individual problem solving and the level of potential developed as determined through problem solving under guidance or collaboration with more capable peers. Individual performance is supported or scaffolded by peers and experts. Techniques that would scaffold learners and move them towards independence are modeling, feedback, questioning and instruction. So zone of proximal development says this thing, because usually a learner is always at the periphery of the zone. If this is a zone, then he's the periphery of the zone. This is what actually he can do. In the center is the potential which he has to do, but he has not reached this stage. So therefore, with the help of his peers, with the help of others, which act as a scaffold, he starts learning more and more till he reaches to his potential at the center. Now, it is the teacher's responsibility. They should identify what is the peripheral zone of a student and what is his potential, so they can move him towards the center of their zone by modeling, by giving feedback, by questioning, and by using instructions. There is one also, that is approach or orientation to learning theories, which is based on humanistic orientation approach, which is called as humanistic learning theories. Within the humanist framework, learning is viewed as a personal act necessary to achieve the learner's full potential. The goal of this approach is for the learner to become autonomous and self-directed. Everybody has a need. One tends to learn to fulfill the needs, and at the highest level is the need of self-actualization. At the lower level are basic psychological and physiological needs. So, to meet those needs, one learns that thing to meet that need. So, therefore, a need helps in learning. The locus of learning within a humanistic orientation relates to the needs of the person, within the ultimate need being that of self-actualization and self-fulfillment, facilitates the growth and development of overall person. Self-directed learning is one of the most important and well-known educational principles of humanistic approach. That is actually, when one tries to meet one's need, one becomes more and more self-directed. To learn that thing, to learn the knowledge, to have the knowledge which are going to meet his need. So simply, if I have to see behaviorism, in which environment is important, in response to a behavior shown by a student, a stimulus is given which either reinforces that response or it decreases that response. Then in cognitivism, it is the mental processes which are important. So therefore, the things are learned in such a way which is facilitates or which is related to how the memory functions, how the knowledge is organized and stored. And in constructivism, it is the person himself who constructs his own knowledge based on his experiences, based on his previous knowledge which he has constructed himself. And the two tools, one is by doing and reflection. And then social, where the individuals learn together. That humanistic, where a person learns to meet the needs. So what has happened is, as the time has passed, they shift of focus from teaching and teacher to learning and learner. Shift of focus from content to content and process, from individual acquisition to participative, social and collaborative. So you have behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, social learning, humanistic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 orientations, 5 approaches, 5 paradigms, whatever the term you want to use. Each one of them have different theories. As we know this thing, they can be combined because constructivism, learners, when they are doing together, they are also constructing. So that will be called as social constructivism. Similarly, cognitivism and constructivism, they can also overlap. And that will be called as cognitive constructivism. And theories, they somewhat tend to fall among them. Stimulus response, connectionism, reinforcement, behaviorism. Cognitive load, information processing, cognitivism. Cobb's experiential learning, Gibbs reflective judgment, Sean reflection, constructivism, and somewhat cognitivism. Zone of proximal development, community of practice, scaffolding. Social learning, self-directed learning from humanistic learning theory. With this, I come to the end of a series of lessons on education theories. I hope this has helped you in learning. Remain happy, remain always smile. Have a good day.